September 2005, the iPod mini was selling like hotcakes because it was more compact and cheaper than the standard iPod, but lacked a color display and the extra storage found on the standard iPod. For most people, this sacrifice was fine. However, the iPod mini still used a micro drive, which is a type of high drive that made it bulky compared to flash-based MP3 players in 2005. Apple's solution was to discontinue the iPod mini and replace it with the first iPod Nano. The original iPod Nano was announced on September 7th, 2005, 2 decades ago as of making this video. Because it was the most compact iPod with a screen that utilized the flash storage medium already found on the iPod Shuffle that released 8 months prior, Steve Jobs famously painted a small pocket in his jeans and asked, "Ever wonder what this pocket is for?" to pull the iPod Nano out of it while unveiling it. The first iPod Nano was available in storage capacities of 1 gigabyte, 2 gigabyte, and 4 gigabyte. As you can tell, I have a 1 gigabyte variant here, and then finishes in black and white, and at a price point of $199. Apple also sold tubes that you could get for your iPod Nano, which are like cases. However, the first iPod Nano lacked the 6 gigabyte option and colors of the iPod mini. In Apple's defense, flash storage was very expensive in 2005, so offering a 6 gigabyte iPod Nano would likely be too costly. On the other hand, the iPod Nano offered a color display which the mini lacked, and the color display also adds the ability to view photos on this iPod. On September 25th, 2006, Apple discontinued the first generation iPod Nano and replaced it with the second generation iPod Nano. On November 11th, 2011, Apple announced a recall on this iPod Nano due to some of their batteries overheating and announced that all affected users could replace their iPod Nano first generation with the then latest 6th generation, and later, the 7th generation iPod Nano. Apple terminated this replacement program on January 19, 2017. The first iPod Nano left behind a significant legacy for the start of such an iconic line of iPods. If you collect vintage Apple devices and also want one, you can find one of these on eBay for around $15 to $25 in the US. I can also report the first generation iPod Nano is not as prone to expanding batteries or the infamous black spot as the second, third, as this one right here actually has the black spot, 4th and 5th generation iPod Nanos. Did you ever own a first generation iPod Nano when these were current? Please comment that down below. Because I was born in 2008, I never had one of these new and instead bought this unit and a lot of iPods back in October 2020. As always, thank you all for watching this video. I'm the iTunes family and peace out.